안녕하세요.
Welcome to the Republic of Korea, a beautiful country with over 50 million inhabitants. Last year, around 100,000 exchange students came to the Republic of Korea. In 2 years, this could be one of you. Because of the cultural differences, we want to give you some insight on how to act and communicate properly in South Korea. Personal and contextual communication styles are related in cross-cultural studies to individualism and collectivism. First, we will explain both personal and contextual communication styles. A personal communication style is often seen in individualistic cultures. A personal style emphasizes the individual and egalitarian relationships. It amplifies the individual identity of the speaker. This person-centeredness is reflected, for instance, by the use of the pronoun I. In languages of personal style communication, there is only one second person pronoun, you. The pronoun usage is consistent across all situations. A person's status and rank is not reflected in interactions. It is an informal way of communicating. A contextual communication style is preferred in collectivist cultures. This form of communication is status and role oriented. The way people address others is different. It is based on their social status. In a contextual communication style, you look at the situation, status, and the intimacy levels among the interactants. These actors dictate the choice of words. It reflects high-power distant characteristics. In a contextual style, there are more words for different purposes depending on personal relationships and status. For instance, in Korean there are 3 forms to say to eat. The plain way of saying to eat is mukada. The polite way to say it is dushinda, and the honorific way of saying it is chopsu shinda. Misusages of these forms in social interactions are seen as culturally inappropriate. In contrary to a personal communication style, you have to decide what form of pronoun you to use. Personal pronouns are not often used. Information does not need to be explicitly expressed. A common background knowledge is assumed. Confucianism has had a great influence on Korean culture. While communicating with Koreans, it is important to pay attention to Confucian hierarchy. One's position in hierarchy is determined by things like age, gender, and status, and this changes the context. It is important to adjust accordingly. For example, the youngest in the group might pour the drinks, and is expected to maintain the senior's good mood and dignity. The eldest in a certain group might take on some sort of leader role or give advice. In formal settings, Koreans usually bow to each other. Make sure you bow deep. This comes across as more polite than a casual nod. Bows may be accompanied by a handshake, but this is more common for men than for women. Korean etiquette dictates the use of titles instead of names. For example, you would address your father-in-law as father instead of Mr. Park. If you don't know with which title you address someone, you can just ask. This is not seen as weird. Drinking is a very important thing in the Korean culture. During celebrations and holidays, drinking is used as a way to show respect to elders and ancestors. It is sometimes seen as more of an obligation than something you do for fun. Being invited out for a drink is one of the biggest signs of respect in the Korean culture.
My name is Hilde. I went on exchange to Korea University in the fall semester of 2014.
What do you think is the biggest difference between university in Holland and in Korea?
I think the biggest difference is the position of the teachers, because the teachers have a higher position in Korea than in Holland. They have more power and authority. It was a bigger step for me to go up to the teachers and ask them questions, or ask them for a favor, or ask them to explain something, because there was a certain way of approaching them, because they were in a higher position than the students. Applying some of their norms and habits to the daily life, like pouring each other's drink, because that's what you do to friends in general in Korea. And they told me that the oldest person in the group has to go and eat first, or take the food first before everyone else can take their food. So that's what I did as well.
What did living and studying in Korea teach you, and do you have any tips?
It taught me that you shouldn't just judge other cultures so fast, because it's a completely different place, and they have different norms, habits, and the way they behave. So and that's not always wrong or funny, or how people sometimes view the Korean culture. And I think if you go there on exchange, you should just make many Korean friends, because they can teach you everything about Korean culture, and they can just teach you everything and have fun with them, then drink soju with them and eat good Korean barbecue. So yeah, that's my tip.